Hello, my name is Curtis Clock. I am with Inspections Over Coffee, and if you're watching this video, it means that you just set up your property inspection, maybe for your new home, for a commercial property. Hard to say, but number one, I'm not sure when you're going to watch this video, but most places in the country right now, it's very difficult to get a house under contract. So I will say congratulations to you and to your realtor. No small task these days to get a house under contract. So good job on that. I do want to take you behind the scenes a little bit so that you have the appropriate expectations of what we can do as inspectors and what we can't do. There's some common misconceptions, and if you're like most people in America, you're only getting a home inspection every 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And so the industry changes, the expectations change, litigation changes, the laws change state to state, and it's important that you know exactly what you're getting into. So I want to set the expectations so that we don't fall short, but if we do have to say, hey, we couldn't do something, you understand the reasoning behind that. So first of all, what I want to do is pull up what we're going to be doing. So there's a little bit of, the first misconception with home inspections is that we're walking up to a house and we're evaluating that house as it stands, as if we've never seen the house before. But the reality is we see hundreds of houses a month and thousands of houses every single year all across the country. And what's actually happening is we're coming in with a pre-established checklist that we're going to go through. So the question that's kind of funny sometimes is somebody goes, hey, do you know what that box is for on the side of the house? And I go, no, it's probably phone or cable, and those aren't things we look at. And the reality is we're looking for water shutoffs and gas shutoffs and the electrical box and the condition of the roof and drainage on the outside. I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but I want you to understand that we're going to your house, whether, again, so I own the franchise, the parent franchising company, so you might be watching this in any state in the country, but I also own one local franchise here in the Phoenix area, so you might actually meet me on an inspection. Even if you don't meet me on an inspection, with the franchise model, it's the exact same thing. Your inspector will be doing the exact same thing, the exact same checklist, in the exact same order, unless there's something really weird going on, like a sleeping baby or a dog put up, or maybe somebody's working from home and we're going to save that room for last. But I'm going to kind of explain to you, when we walk up to a house, what do we do? I'm going to try to keep this brief. I know I can tend to ramble on for a bit. So before we even get there, we've actually got a whole checklist of things. We're going to pull the property history report. We're going to attach that to your report. We know basically the problems we expect based on the year the house was built, and every inspector sees a copy of this. And we start on the outside and we work our way in. So we start roof, attic, exterior, electrical. Now, when we do this, we do all electrical. So we're not, when we're doing the exterior, we're just doing the exterior. We're doing electrical, that means we're doing the electrical panel. It means we're checking all the outlets, the lights, the fans, etc. So electric, that way, when you get the final report, you don't have one electrical problem in the garage, one in the kitchen, and one in the casita, or one in the mother-in-law suite, where you're like, wait, I have 5 electrical problems. So when you see your final report, which I'm going to show you in a second, all the electrical problems where you would bring in an electrician are in that section. All pool issues are in the pool. All roof issues are in the roof. And again, there's the more in detail videos if you want to see what we're looking for, the roof, the exterior, the attic, solar power, etc. But your final product is going to look a lot like this. You can zoom around on the left. If there's any additional PDFs, like a termite report or a lab result for mold or asbestos or whatever, that's going to be down on the bottom left there. Then we color code everything blue, orange, and red. And here's what you want to know. Blue are like super simple maintenance items, caulking, little things like that, things that are just kind of nothing burgers, get to them when you can. Orange it's a thing that we should write down, but it's not really causing you an issue yet. Like maybe drainage on the side of the house, it's not causing an issue, but you want to address the drainage so that the water's not sloping towards the house and ruining the foundation over years. But it's not ruining it yet. And then red means that it's either a safety item right now, or it's a big expensive item. So if the roof is really shot, that might be a red item. But also, if there's no GFCI in the bathroom, that's also a red item, even though it's only 25, 30 bucks plus the cost of an electrician if you don't want to do it yourself to fix. So red items are either safety things that you should really want to address, or big expensive items. Here's what our job is. This is just observations we make, and you do with them what you will. There's nothing saying the seller has to fix everything. There's nothing saying the seller won't fix anything at all. It's all a negotiation. We're basically your eyes and ears, sort of not emotionally involved with the house to make sure that you're not inheriting problems unknowingly. So once you get this report, you're going to sit down with your realtor and they're going to help you sort of navigate whether or not there's something or anything to be negotiated. Okay. Now, there's a ton of stuff in here. Oh, the last two things I want to talk about really quick, they're just informational. Each section, electrical, roofing, plumbing, attic, has its own snapshot section. And what this is what we saw on the day of the inspection. So you'll see us running the plumbing, a video inside the attic, a video inside the electrical panel, so you can know exactly what we saw. And then all this informational stuff here, average lifespans, average cost to replace, depending on the type of roof you have, we might give you some interesting information. If you have AFCIs, we'll give you a whole write-up on AFCIs and what those are. And then you have your blue, orange, and red defects, right? Debris in the gutters, debris on the roof, chipped or cracked tiles. And again, back to the snapshot, a video inside the attic, right? So all this blue stuff here is really, really good for home ownership. It can be a lot when you're sitting down with your realtor trying to figure out if we're going to be talking to the sell side about getting any of this stuff fixed. So right below the picture of your inspector there, you see the button summary. And it gets rid of all the blue, all the fluff, all the good home ownership, which you should still read. But for the purposes of dealing with your realtor and whether you're going to negotiate anything, you're going to want to focus on the summary, which is the orange and the red items. And if you want just the red items, you can click the primary defect button, and it'll bring that up. And then again, and you can go through here. Now, if you're the kind of person that goes, man, I'm not really technologically savvy, all you have to do is click on this PDF and under your realtor's name, and I'm just going to do summary so it comes up quickly while I'm recording here, and you'll get it. Now, what you do lose is you lose videos. So if we take a video of a loose electrical panel and in the video we tell you where it's at, and you have this printed out, you might not know where it's at without that video. The good news is this summary should take you back. Let's see, video. So right there, it'll say video, click here to view video. So if that's something you really want to learn more about, it takes you back to the original report and it'll have the video in it. Now, big picture here, what we have to remember is, here's a worst case scenario for us as inspectors, is a younger buyer's uncle, dad, etc. shows up and starts manipulating things, starts turning valves, starts messing with switches, starts to try and solve problems. We're not there to solve problems. You don't own that house. You have to stop your dad and your uncle from doing that, because that's how fires happen. That's how leaks happen. There's some things that seem like common sense, but once I explain it to you, it'll help you understand. We can't turn the valve for the gas for the fireplace. We can't turn the gas on for the oven. We can't turn the water on if the water's turned off. And the reason is because this is somebody else's house. It's a third party's house. I'm the inspector. I don't own the house. You're the buyer. You don't own the house. The realtors don't own the house. A third party owns that house, and there may be, many times is a safety reason that those things are shut off. So maybe it's only 1 out of 100, and of course it's hot in the summer, so we turn the gas off of the fireplace. But that 1 out of 100 times where maybe the pilot valve is leaking, and it's a safety thing, and that's why the thing is shut off. That's why we can't do those things. So if your inspector says, I can't really do that, it's because some third party owns the house. And we have to be really careful, because if we go beyond our scope of what we're supposed to be doing and start manipulating things, moving ceiling tiles and doing now we're actually liable if we cause any damage. And of course, we don't want to do that. So that's what's important to know is we are somewhat limited. We basically have permission to put our hands behind our back and do a visual inspection, and we're allowed to function test everything, which means we can turn on appliances, operate the garage door, etc. Okay, so that being said, two other things that we do is we do drone videos. So there really should never be an inaccessible roof for our inspectors. We tend not to walk on the tile roofs, because we've actually had situations in the past where the second there's a cracked tile, the person who owns the house goes, well, there wasn't a cracked tile before the inspector walked on, the inspector must have broke it. So we try to be careful of that. But we do also do we thermal scan the entire house. So we'll take pictures of toilets and sinks. So if this section isn't showing any problems, if there is a defect, like a plumbing leak as an example, it would be in the plumbing section, which I don't know if this house had any. There you go. There was a plumbing leak in this one. And so the issue with the thermal picture goes in the plumbing issue. So this thermal section, you don't have to feel like you know everything about thermal cameras. Just know that these photos are taken for your benefit. And hopefully, you know, they're kind of cool, kind of fun. So that's it. I'm super excited. There's going to be another video coming to you that talks about sort of a add-on services like sewer scopes and termites and radon testing, etc., that is above and beyond the scope of a normal home inspection. And that will be an opportunity for you to, again, we want to help you make sure you don't inherit problems unknowingly. So those things go a little deeper, are different services. They have some costs associated with them. But if you want to look at the inside of a sewer line, there's a camera. We do that. There's some cost behind it. Okay, one last thought about your home inspection is we are kind of the bad news bears, right? Like it is our job to find problems and find defects. So what I would tell you is show up ready. We've done thousands and thousands of houses over the years. We've never done a house without problems. Brand new houses have problems. Old houses have had problems. There's no house that has ever been perfect in the thousands of houses I've personally done. So just keep that in mind. Hear your inspector out, and we look forward to working with you and hope that your inspection is a pleasant inspection and we don't find too much. All right, good luck, and we look forward to working with you.